talk with you about how to unpimp yourself or unwhore yourself. What's happening is if you're not taking responsibility, the ability to respond is suppressed in you, and that causes the depression. The anger turn inwards is really your neurons, um, your brain cells pulling away from each other. The dendrites, which they use to communicate, the tentacles like fingers. Imagine as fingers between two people, human touch. It's why it's important. Um, is withdrawing from each other. There's less chemicals being exchanged, which is a good thing. Um, there's less electricity, which again you want more of that. It's not a good thing if there's less chemicals being exchanged. There's no relationship. There's no communication, and this is why you might hear people with loud cars or a loud motorcycle. They didn't get enough attention as a child. You've been lied to your life, so you start believing the lies and telling yourself more lies. Dendrites don't like to be, neurons don't like to be lied to, and they withdraw from each other. And if you, there's a story in the Bible about a guy that was a tax collector and how he made reparations. I gave back 4 times whatever, I think he says 4 times whatever he wrongfully taxed people, whatever he stole. When you steal and you knowingly steal, you're stealing from yourself, and you are destroying some of the relationships between the neurons, and there's less chemicals being exchanged. This is why if you drink, you're literally shrinking your brain. Alcohol forces the neurons back together, but it's only temporary. Um, Once you stop drinking, you got the headache. That's the neurons trying to go right back where they were, and they're saying, this is not normally where we are supposed to be, thinking the thoughts that you have, and it's all about the thoughts in your head, your subconscious. A good exercise, if you want to take responsibility and unwhore yourself, it depends on the level of the toxic shame and guilt. That's I have something on my blog, ihackreality.blogspot.com, on toxic shame and guilt. I've been getting a lot of really good international reviews. There's some forgiveness exercises. An easy way to change your thought patterns and reconnect your dendrites, your neurons, is Warren Buffett does this simple exercise where you write down on a piece of paper what characteristics you want, an example of somebody that has them, and why you want them, why you want to start or you want more of them. And on the other side of the paper, you can make a list, an example of 5 or 10 of traits that you don't want, thoughts that you don't want to have, people that have them, and why you don't want to have them. And if you make this list and read it for a minute a day, you can pick a few out. You don't have to go through the whole list, but you've got to do it every day because you're changing these brain waves. What you're saying is, dendrites, I want more of you. I want my neurons to connect. I want to take responsibility. Literally, I want more light in my head, more of a lightning storm. Um, and that is a different set of chemicals. It's a different thought process. If you do it long enough, trust me, I promise you, you will be, good things will come into your life. You will have happy thoughts. You'll be a better person. And this is the real difference, the physical difference in the chemicals being created between somebody that uh, is depressed and angry and bitter, or a whore. If uh, if you believe lies, if you tell lies, if you've done bad things and you realized in your mind that you've done bad things, if you have those thoughts, they're only in your head. Can't lie to yourself indefinitely. These dendrites will pull away. You'll get aches and pains because you're actually there's a loop, a feeling loop in your body, and this is why people die sooner, why you're more likely to get sick, why you have tingles, why parts of you will literally go numb, because the center in your brain that feedback loop saying I'm in contact with the world, tell the other neurons, share this information, die. They literally pull apart and eventually they will die. Um, This is a different process than aging. There's some really good videos on YouTube if you want to look up anti-aging. Trying to think of something else to help you. The shame and guilt, I think, is on my blog. I need to actually transfer those over into video form. But this is how you unwhore yourself. This is how you become a whore in the first place. If you lie to yourself, you believe the lies, you tell other lies, you do not take responsibility. You do not have the ability to respond to your own thoughts and your own actions. If you make amends, if you make it right, what you're doing when you're making a mend, you're actually mending, bringing the dendrites, the neurons, closer together. And this is why if you do the stuff that is bad for you, you will continue to do that. And why? Because there's a set of chemicals that say dendrites move away from each other, and for the neurons to shrink and eventually die and don't make more, and we want to die faster, versus we want a totally opposite set of chemicals. We want more dendrites, we want more neurons, we want to move closer together, we want to share more chemicals, we want to share more lightning. If you listen to rap music, if you listen to loud, like heavy metal rock, this is why it actually feels better, because you're shaking those dendrites, and when you're shaking them with your vocal cords, the beat of the bass, you're kind of shaking chemicals out of these two neurons through the dendrites and making them fire because they're wiggling. It's such a small area. The physical motion in your body has a dramatic effect on the amount of chemicals that are released and the amount of firings that take place. The electricity from the other side of the dendrites that is a signal. Yes, release these chemicals, talk, communicate with the next one. That it's enough to stimulate that, and you could do the same thing through motion. If you memorize that list I just recommended to you that you made of yourself on your own, and you physically move, and you make a tape to yourself, and you physically move, you do the same thing. It's stimulating, saying, yes, shake it up. We literally want more of these chemicals. We want them now. We want to do it right away. And you're literally kind of shaking the chemicals out of your neurons, your brain cells. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, you can contact me, leave a comment below, or you can read my blog, ihackreality.blogspot.com. It's all one word. I have a book titled MBA 2012. It's psychology, self-improvement, interpersonal skills, increase your business, and just communicating with other people, better salesmanship, which is talking to a whole other set of neurons, a whole other set of brain cells than another person, and that is a relationship. And if you do, it's kind of like it's kind of like steps. If you address one issue, it releases chemicals and opens up receptor sites on the other neuron, saying that this is good, this is what we want. Make this chemical instead of the bad one, and fire more, communicate more, send more electricity. It's kind of like I'm in a safer environment. This is an environment to communicate in, and I want to communicate more. And that's basically the ins and outs, I guess, of a little bit of how your brain operates.